Okay, been busy the last couple of days painting up this window. So I've had it set up here on the sawhorses and spray painted the whole lot. Just took the window out, took all the winder mechanism out and sprayed it up. So yeah, it looks really good on the inside. Pretty good on the inside. The outside's not bad. There's a little bit of damage on the frame, but that's just the way it goes. So that's going to get put in tomorrow, hopefully. So I'll start pulling the brickwork out in the morning, and hopefully insert this by mid-afternoon. Also got the fly screen painted as well, so that's ready to go in. It's amazing what a bit of black paint does, especially on this metal fly screen. It makes it look like it's brand new. It's great. In order to get to these bolts here, I had to actually cut the piece of timber out along the top here. I had no choice. I thought I was going to be able to get to them from here, but once I took the plaster out and realised that we were above the track, yeah, I had no other choice. I had to cut that out, so a bit unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. So I'll replace that in the next couple of days, and I'll make it so that it can actually be taken out again. I'll screw it in, and if we ever need to adjust the rollers, we'll be able to do it. Okay, a bit of a change here on the door. As you can see, it lines up pretty good now. It's as good as it's going to get. Patched some holes here in the architrave. I'm just going to let that go off overnight and then sand that down in the morning. But yeah, I've changed the handles out. I had the handles that were rounded on the top and bottom, but all my handles throughout the house are all square. So I had to chisel that out and get that get the hole to suit the handles. So that's all been done. I'm hoping this isn't going to be too dark, but you can see here I've got this one here is basically a cover to cover your tracks, so you don't see your rollers. Well, it's not sort of set up. The door's obviously not set up right, because as you know, I had to cut a whole heap of stuff out of the back there, and I had to cut this piece here right underneath the architrave. I had to pull that right out of the corner there and right out of the corner here, and to get to the rollers to adjust it. So there's a new piece in there now, and then there's obviously the piece that's supposed to cover the rollers, which is way below the rollers. So this has all been finished off in here. Obviously needs paint, needs a little bit of gap filling. The door's out here in this corner, don't know why, but it just is. And all the walls out because it's the architrave that's sitting out. So I'll just gap fill that in there. I'll paint it first and see how it comes up with some paint, because it might just be yeah, the paint might just fill it. I've got to sand all this as well in the morning, and I'll get all that nice. But the great thing is the door closes now. There's no gap. It's not whatever was inside here, which were inside the cavity, which I think there was obviously a screw sticking out, was ripping along the top of the door here. So we've got clearance now, so that's not going to rip anymore. Once I paint that, you won't even see that. Probably can't see it now because the shadow falls right on that line. But yeah, just a little bit more, a little closer to the end now. yeah, it's as good as it's going to get, you know, for a second-hand door installed into a twisted, bent and crooked house. I think it's come up alright, you know. So all good there. Okay, we got the door hanging into the ensuite. So had to make a few modifications, and left a big question mark over the job for a little while until I worked out what I'd done. But anyway, we got all the tracks up there. Had to shorten it. Came in the box as a 2 meter length. So you got to shorten it up, and then even though there's pre-drilled holes in there, you've got to drill the holes to where your studs are. So really, they shouldn't drill any holes in there to start with. And then they give you some plugs. So just drop one. Hang on, here we go. So they give you these plugs that you can stick into the holes that you don't use. This is my last one. I do have one of the mounts on the track, sorry, that I want to move. So I'm gonna need this one to plug up the last hole, but as it sits at the moment, it all works. I had to add a piece to the top. The door hasn't been cut. The door is a standard height door, but with this track assembly, it left it short at the bottom, so there was a big gap at the bottom. And part of the reason for that being, and this is what I had the big question mark over, when I looked at the side, I had a gap here. I couldn't work out why I had a gap, because I've got quite a few sliding doors in the house, and couldn't work out why I had a gap. And then there was a gap on the other side, and I'm thinking something's not right. And then I worked out I've got no architrave here, because I was going for the clean look, but now I have to put architrave on there in order to cover up this gap here between the door and the wall. So I know what's going on there now, so that's an easy fix. The other one was, yeah, I had to add that piece to the top, so that's a piece of 20 by 35, so 35 wide, 20 high, and that's left me with a really nice gap down the bottom. The only problem was that the groove, or the channel that's cut into the bottom of the door, was too narrow for the guides that they supply with the kit. They supply 3 different guides, and none of them would actually go into the slot. And I had another guide here, a white one, and I tried that too, and that wouldn't go in. So what I've had to do is I've had to file it down. It's plastic, so it filed pretty easy. And what I also did is I got my good hand saw, and just ran it along the groove just to get out any debris that might be in there. And I laid that on the bed and then ran this along the groove, and it seems to move pretty freely now, so this can be mounted to guide the door. As you can see, I put black handles in it. Now it's the only different coloured handle on any door throughout the entire house. And the reason I've done that is because I wanted it to match the track. If the track was a hidden track with a pelmet over it, I would have went chrome, but because the track is black, I went with black handles on it. It'll look a lot nicer when this door's painted white. This is actually cream at the moment, because as you know, I bought this second hand. I paid $15 for it rather than buying a new one for $67. So that was a good saving there. So what I basically saved, you know, which was like $50 odd, Paid for handles for this, paid for handles for the linen press, and obviously contributed a little bit towards the track. So that's all worked out really good. Okay, that's what it looks like when the doors push back. So it's not too bad. A bit of dust on there, but yeah, it's okay. I don't mind it. I didn't, as I said, I didn't really want to have a door on here, but I think having a door is probably a smart idea. If I don't like it down the track, I can just unbolt it and take it all off. So it doesn't really matter. So yeah, all good. I bought this dispenser off eBay. Now it's supposed to be toothpaste dispenser. It's got provisions there to hang 4 brushes, and it's got magnetic cups, 2 magnetic cups, so pretty good. And it's got a little caddy there, and it's got a little bit of little storage piece there for whatever, hand creams, face creams, whatever. Now, toothpaste is supposed to go in here. There's actually a thread in there, but toothpaste tubes these days don't come with a thread. I broke that off before to try and get it to fit in there, but they're push-on. They're push-on caps these days. So, what do you know? What an idiot. You saw it first. You saw it first. Well, okay. I'll admit when I'm an idiot. There you go. It's screwed in. And you know what I ended up doing? I ended up sending an email to the eBay seller asking him if there was an adapter to put into this thing so I could screw the bloody tube in. Well, there you go. I'll have to send him one now telling him not to worry about it. I'm an absolute idiot. There you go. So I think that cost me about $17. It sort of gets everything off the counter. 2 cups there, 4 toothbrush holders. It's not automatic, so it's not going to put toothpaste on your brush. I think you still have to squeeze the tube by hand. So yeah, but it keeps everything clean. So yeah, it'll do for now. If it cost me $50 odd or something like that, and it didn't dispense toothpaste, then I'd be pretty pissed off. But it's a $17 caddy, so I can live with that. God, I feel like a goose now. I gotta go send the eBay seller a message. All right, guys, I'm gonna wind it up here. This will be enough footage with all the other stuff I've got sitting on the computer at the moment to put another episode together, and that'll pretty much be it. And as I said last time, the next video you'll see is me putting the window in. Well, we ended up with an extra video in between, but some of it is to do with the window, the painting of the windows, so I guess it's not really a lie, is it? So yeah, but I'll leave this one here, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.